That's a very pertinent question that you have asked. Why the Muslims do not eat pork? Why don't they imbibe the flesh of the swine? First and foremost, I have to tell you that we don't eat pork because it is a commandment of God Almighty. This is the reason why we do not eat pork. If He knows that this is not good for us, just like we don't eat mice. Yes, He created the mice. Yes, He created the hippopotamus. Yes, He created the horse. You don't see us cutting down horses and eating, maybe not in the civilized world, and cats and dogs. So just like that, the pork is prohibited for the Muslims to eat, just like it was prohibited in the Old Testament also not to eat the flesh of swine. In Leviticus you will find that. In some of the versions you will find it expunged, but anyhow it was there. That's why the Jews also do not eat the flesh of swine. You will also find that in Isaiah 65 3 and 4, that you will find that it has some connection to idolatry, where it is actually looked on as on a very negative note to begin with. So you have biblical references for it, and you have the Quranic reference also, thou shalt not eat the flesh of swine. Now, the second reason is, every other thing is secondary, and you have to understand that. Because first is obedience to God Almighty, and obedience is benefit to us. So it is in obedience, that is the first thing. The secondary issues are the health issues, because if you're obedient to your Creator, He knows what is good for you to eat. It's just like somebody who has built a car knows that 5W20 or 5W30 or 5W, whatever kind of oil that you need to put in, it's good for the engine, because these are the people who created the engine and they know. So if the Almighty has created every single thing and has created the human being, then He knows what's good for the system itself. So that's why Muslims don't eat pork. Secondly, the secondary issues are the health issues. If you look at the digestive tract of the pig, it eats its food within 4 hours from mouth to defecation within 4 hours. It has one digestive tract and that's it. If you compare that to the cow has many stomachs, and what it does is goes through different portholes and it purifies itself. So it takes 24 hours to digest all of the food, the grass that it's eating. So it's only eating grass, but it's also digesting that over a period of 24 hours, while the pig is digesting every single thing within 4 hours, but it's not only just eating grass and leaves, it's eating all of the things that I will explain a bit later on, that it is eating meat, it is eating its defecation, it eats its other, eats its like, meaning to say it eats the babies. It's something bizarre that the human beings have learned to like the pork. And even if you smell the pork itself, you will see that it is the smell also has this kind of a uric acid smell. And getting to the second point is where uric acid is a high content in the pork meat. So the pig meat has a high content of uric acid. Now, uric acid in your body, your kidneys flush uric acid. It's toxic to your system. Your urine is filled with uric acid, so it tries to get rid of it. Now, you're putting it in your mouth when you're eating pork, and your body is overly working hard in order to get rid of the uric acid. So health-wise, it is not good. Secondly, or thirdly, that it has trichinosis. This is a parasitic disease caused by round worms. You see, 5% of death in clinical cases have occurred because of this, and people are usually sick. It usually causes muscle fatigue. It causes some kind of gaining of a tumorish thing in your body, where you might not see it for years and years, but it's a buildup. It's like a calcification, sort of, and you will see that this meat, while you're eating it with this parasitic disease from the roundworms, you will see that it toxifies your body in many different ways. So many toxins are in there, many worms are in there, many diseases are in there. The pigs, actually, there are many researchers that have done that the pigs contain more than 200 diseases in its body, in its flesh.
A doctor who lived in a small farming community in Indiana was at first puzzled, then frightened. He began observing strange symptoms in his patients. Starting out as innocent-looking rashes, they quickly became alarmingly large, painful lesions. Dr. Anderson took cultures and sent them off to a lab, which reported they were MRSA, staph infections that are resistant to antibiotics. He didn't live to tell the tale. Some believe he died of complications related to MRSA infection. Arousing, terrifying headlines as superbug or flesh-eating bacteria, MRSA is killing more than 18,000 Americans a year, according to the CDC, more than AIDS. The doctor suspected pigs in nearby hog farms were carrying the resistant disease. He was right. MRSA has spread rapidly. First discovered in swine-producing areas of the Netherlands, then Europe, this same strain of MRSA has now been found in the United States and Canada. A new study by Tara Smith, a University of Iowa epidemiologist, found that 49% of hogs tested and 45% of pig farmers she sampled carried MRSA. There's no doubt about it. Pork is bad for you. Besides MRSA, they carry trichinosis and dozens of other diseases that are downright bad for us humans.
But we keep saying, yes, eat the pork because it is a cheap meat that you can eat. It has many babies. You can farm it. We are in no way saying be cruel to the animal. Animal cruelty is not allowed. But because the pork itself, the meat, is so toxic to the human system, it causes a lot of diseases to take place. Now, the pig eats anything around, and I'm literally saying that. Anything. It eats worms, it eats dead and rotting carcasses, it eats mice. Did you know that because when it's around in barns, mice are around, if it gets to find a mice or a dead mice, it will literally eat it. And now, within that 4-hour digestive tract, this thing is eating a mice, or it could be a diseased mice is going straight into the meat of the pork. You're eating that, and then you're saying, well, have I really had a healthy meal to eat? I mean, some people are crazy after bacon, but hopefully after this video, you won't be. It eats garbage, it eats defecation, meaning if it has poop around, it will eat it. It will eat other pigs. It will eat its own kind, meaning it will eat its babies. If a pig is, sickly or has died, it will eat itself also, meaning to say it will eat its own kind. This is something horrendous. Humans and pigs, they share this influenza, meaning this flu virus. And it usually is latent in the pig's lungs. So in the summertime, it's latent in the lungs. And what we do is when we cut up the pig, we put it into sausages. So bits and pieces of this diseased lung is within the sausage itself and the cartilages and all of the other things. I mean, hot dogs and it might be great as a summertime thing, but especially the sausages made with pork was something would make you extremely sick. It is one of the highest cholesterol count in terms of meat. The pig carries this Tinea solum worm, which actually causes the human being to become extremely sick, and over time it has muscle fatigue. You don't know why you are tired, you don't know why you are feeling sick, and all of these issues that come out of the pig itself. And the reason why Muslims don't eat, and I come back to the first point, is because it's a commandment of God. But if after all of the things that I have shown you, that all the things that the pig does, and its vicious or voracious eating habit, that would lead any human being to say that if an animal contains over 200 diseases, latent sometimes it's out there, sometimes the worm, even after cooking, it doesn't get dissolved or it doesn't go away. You're imbibing that, uric acid, all of those things. Somebody tell you that this animal might have 200 diseases, 18 different parasites, but you still say no, because we feed it corn feed, therefore it is okay. It is actually not okay, because even within the corn-fed areas, the pig, as I told you, will eat dead mice, will eat live mice, will eat defecation, will eat garbage, will do all of those things. And you can see, if you see the anatomy of the pig itself, it is very close to the anatomy of the human being. So it's something to be shunned, it's something to be getting rid of. So next time when you see the Muslims avoiding the pork itself, look at it from the point of obedience to God's commandments, but at the same time also look at it as a healthy choice where people are making. And the Heart Association will tell you that the pork meat is one of the worst meats for you to eat, especially if you have a heart disease. And if you don't, they tell you not to actually start because it will cause one for you. So I pray that I have eradicated this misconception that we have, because we don't Muslims don't eat pork because they hate pigs. No, we don't hate pigs. We can draw them, we can do whatever with them, but at the same time we do not eat its flesh, because it's something that is forbidden. And you know that 10 to 20%, especially in the United States of America, have this parasite trichinosis, and there are many ailments that actually come with that. So for the benefit of mankind, human beings, that we should shun this kind of meat, and this is why we don't, as Muslims, eat the flesh of swine. Thank you very much, and I hope you understood this point.